In Bong Joon Ho's newest film, Mickey 17 stars Batman, Mark Grayson from Invincible, and the Hulk. I am in. Hey movie buffs, I'm Jack Benner and welcome to my review of Mickey 17. Mickey 17 is the newest sci-fi / dark comedy from Bong Joon Ho. This is adapted from the book Mickey 7 from Edward Ashton. And this film stars Robert Pattinson in the main lead, and you got supporting performances from Naomi Ackie, Stephen Yeun, Toni Collette, and Mark Ruffalo. Set in the future, our protagonist is Mickey Barnes, played by Robert Pattinson, a man in a space colony applying to be an expendable, a disposable crew member selected for dangerous tasks because he can be reprinted every time he dies, but when there's a clone of him, things get complicated. Before I get into my review, any new viewers coming across my channel for the first time, welcome to my channel. I am Jack Benner. I talk about movies on here. I do movie reviews, both old and new, and from time to time, I do some list videos, either a top 5 or a ranking video. So you like movie content? Like what you see so far? Definitely considering that like and subscribe button for more exciting movie content down the road. After Parasite took the world by storm as one of the highest grossing foreign films in the United States, winning 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, making history as the first foreign film to win Best Picture, universally lauded as a masterful social satire / black comedy, with brilliant direction from Bong Joon Ho, a great cast ensemble, fascinating themes, and amazing genre blending with an engaging tonal shift from comedy to thriller. And rewatching it recently, it is now my favorite film of 2019, topping The Lighthouse and 1917. And it's a top-tier Best Picture winner of the 2010s decade, along with 12 Years a Slave and Birdman, in my opinion. And Bong Joon Ho has proven to be an excellent visionary with films like that and Snowpiercer, another great film from him. After Parasite dominated the Oscars and received gargantuan acclaim, many were wondering, what did Bong Joon Ho have in store for his follow-up film? And hearing about this project, Mickey 17, made me very excited from the interesting concept, and the cast is fantastic. And it did sound like a very interesting follow-up to Parasite, and this was originally set to release sometime last year, but David Zaslav, being the incompetent nincompoop of a CEO he is, delayed the film to this year. And now Mickey 17 just came out this weekend. I saw it on Friday. My review is here. What are my thoughts on this movie? Was it a great follow-up to Parasite? Did I absolutely love this movie? My thoughts on Mickey 17? Good follow-up to Parasite. Do I think the film is great? Sadly, no. There are some things that work greatly about it, but also has some things that do hold it back. But still, I did enjoy Mickey 17 as a funny, quirky, and engaging sci-fi film. To start with my pros, Bong Joon Ho, his direction is top-notch here. The production design is absolutely incredible, from the spaceship, beautiful cinematography, great effects work on the aliens. On a technical standpoint, visually this movie is terrific. And I also do want to credit the musical score for being great as well. I don't know the composer's name, I'll put their name right here. And Bong Joon Ho does a great job of establishing the world building on the ship, from the wealthy politicians and the working class, different assignments and jobs for the spaceship to colonize. But I also do admire Bong Joon Ho being fearless about going quirky and just gleefully going for that dark humor. And when it is funny, it's really funny. And for that mix of good sci-fi, made for interesting genre blending. And how each time Mickey dies and how it's edited, from the beginning of the film, just seeing him do these dangerous tasks, and it is quite funny just to see him die, his frustration, and just had enough of this. And just reactions from other people, like nobody caring, or people going, oh my god, did you see that? I do feel like it does stay tonally consistent of what it's trying to be, and doesn't try to take itself too seriously. And second, the cast all around is great. Over the years, Robert Pattinson has been quickly becoming one of the best actors working today. And if you are still on that side that sees Robert Pattinson as Edward from Twilight,
oh, he's that sparkling vampire from Twilight. That's all he's known for.
First of all, have you seen Good Time? Have you seen The Lighthouse, which I think is his best performance, which he was marvelous going up against Willem Dafoe? His unrecognizable voice work in The Boy and the Heron, the English dub. And he's also doing a terrific job in blockbusters such as Tenet, and doing a phenomenal job as Batman. Look, Twilight, all those movies were terrible, and his performance in those movies were awful, but I don't blame him. And Twilight ended in 2012. His Twilight days, long gone. He has proven to be a phenomenal actor with unbelievable range. And it's just jaw-dropping at the different voices and accents he does. Here in Mickey 17, it's no exception. Another film where he does a strange voice, and just hearing that voice, I was like, oh, it's quite surprising to hear that voice come out of Robert Pattinson. I don't know if he was able to learn to do that voice himself or it was a dialect coach. How he was able to nail that voice? Great job, and it never felt too grating or distracting. I feel like it does work for the type of person Mickey is, just kind of a dweeb. And Pattinson nails the great comedic timing, mannerisms, and selling the heavy toll of his character. And just looking at his face the first half of this movie, just every time he dies and dies and dies, you can just look into his face and eyes, you can tell he's had enough of this shit. But also major props at doing an excellent job of playing the different clone of himself, making them distinct from different personalities, mannerisms, and actions. It's such a distinguished performance that Robert Pattinson absolutely nails, and I couldn't imagine any other actor pulling this role off as well as he did. And luckily, he's guided by a great supporting cast. Naomi Ackie, who you remember was in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker and that movie Blink Twice that came out last year. She's a really good standout as Mickey's love interest and shows great chemistry with Robert Pattinson. And Steven Yeun does a great job as Mickey's sleazy douchebag friend. And anything Steven Yeun nowadays, I love him in anything, whether that's Invincible, his Oscar-nominated performance in Minari, or Nope. He's always great. Love that dude. And some of my favorite supporting performances, let's talk about Toni Collette and Mark Ruffalo. It was quite a treat to see them ham it up as over-the-top villains, and I've been listening to other reviews saying they were like the weak links of the movie, they were too over-the-top. To be fair, I can understand where some of those reviews are coming from, but personally, I had a blast just watching them just chew up the scenery here. And it was also exciting to see Mark Ruffalo play another eccentric douchebag character after Poor Things, which I still think that's his best performance. I feel like that's a great opportunity to show more versatility from Mark Ruffalo as a great character actor. And for the most part, Bong Joon Ho does keep this an engaging enough story that's funny, quirky, and interesting. If you're familiar with Bong Joon Ho's filmography, you know he likes to include certain themes and motifs and showing satire or social commentary in an interesting way. And he does explore interesting themes here such as classism, colonialism, capitalism. And for the most part, they do work effectively in the story, making it interesting without coming off as too heavy-handed. Unfortunately, I do have some flaws with this movie that do hold it back. Here they are. First, I feel like this movie was way too long. At 2 hours and 17 minutes, this movie could have trimmed the fat, where it just felt overlong, especially in the second act of the movie, where it really starts to meander, containing scenes that could have been either trimmed or just cut out of the film. And another thing, I felt like the ending went on for too long. There's a section in the movie I was like, okay, this is over, but then it just keeps going, and I was like, this movie's not over yet. I felt like this movie could have wrapped up already. As a good opportunity for a more tighter and cohesive story here. And it also does include one love triangle between Robert Pattinson, Naomi Ackie, and another crew member. And that love triangle just felt forced, pointless, unnecessary, and just there to pad out the runtime. And I felt like it just cut that part out of the story. You wouldn't change a whole lot, honestly. And my final issue with Mickey 17, I felt like the story could have been more cohesive. I felt like the movie was trying to go too big for its own good, where it has characters that could have been more developed. Want to know Steven Yeun's character more, want to know more about Naomi Akkie's character. And one flaw that did kind of underwhelm me, I felt like the themes could have been more enticing and thought-provoking. I did find them interesting, but not a lot where I'm constantly thinking about it. Felt like there were some things, whether it's messages or certain characters, that could have used more subtlety. And especially with Mark Ruffalo's character, and don't want to say the name, and watching the film, it's pretty obvious of who his character is supposed to be. Just from his appearance and event that happens in the film, you start to put the pieces together and I was like, oh, I know who he's trying to be. Overall, despite that I felt like there was a lot more to be desired for a more cohesive story, Mickey 17 is still a successful follow-up to Parasite that's darkly funny, quirky, and engaging, with great direction from Bong Joon Ho and excellent performances, mainly from Robert Pattinson. I would definitely recommend this movie to you if you're fans of Bong Joon Ho's work, or if you love sci-fi or you just like dark humor that lands well. I think you're going to enjoy Mickey 17. However, if you're not interested in this movie at all, doesn't look like your cup of tea, you think it looks too odd or not really your humor, you can skip this movie if you want. I don't think this movie will be for everyone. And do keep your expectations in check. Don't expect it to be as amazing as Parasite. I feel like that's setting your expectations too high. Just go into this movie expecting an oddball, sci-fi, dark comedy. And if that sounds entertaining and interesting to you, I think you'll enjoy it here. Even if there were a few aspects that did underwhelm me, I'm looking forward to seeing what Bong Joon Ho does next in the future. And now to grade it, I'm going to give Mickey 17 3.5 stars out of 5, a B. Another excellent performance from Robert Pattinson, and if you're excited to see him in more movies, you're in luck, because he has 2 exciting projects in the next 2 years. First one, my most anticipated film of next year, back with Christopher Nolan after Tenet, The Odyssey. Just hearing the cast announcements and Christopher Nolan doing a Greek mythology film, he's in a supporting role. I'm super pumped for that movie, can't wait for it. And the next one, sucks it's gonna come out in 2027, but The Batman Part 2, and I seriously have to wait 2 years for that. But regardless of how long I'll wait, I hope they have time to make a great story and hope everything is ready, and absolutely love the Batman, so I hope that's a great follow-up film. So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of Mickey 17 if you've seen it? Do you agree, disagree with my review? Or if you haven't seen it, are you interested in seeing the film or not? Let me know down below. Did you enjoy hearing my thoughts on this movie? Want to see more reviews like this in the future? If yes, please hit that like and subscribe button if you're new here, and don't forget that notification bell for my next upload in the future. It really means a lot. My social media links will be in the description down below. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you'd like to see my written reviews, I do have a Letterboxd account, so if you'd like to follow me on there as well. And until the next video, I'm Jack Benner, and look forward to another movie review.